Hi, my name's Joe, and I'm the shepherd of Fiji House Church. Today, I want to share with you my journey of evangelism. When I was younger, I had participated in the street evangelism continuously for about a year. It was not really a good experience. For a few hours every Saturday, we would take our bulletin and gospel tracts, go to Lickham or Strathfield, and stand there waiting for somebody to look our way and hand out the things we took. There were many rejections, and people just didn't want to listen or care. One of the reasons for doing the street evangelism was because the church was small and we needed to invite people to church to increase the numbers. At the time, my heart was filled with the thoughts, why do I have to waste my time to talk to strangers who don't care? And even when I put in so much effort, nothing was happening. I did not have the heart for the lost souls and just felt that it was a time-wasting task that we just had to do. And since then, I did not want to do any kind of street evangelism. As you know, I've said multiple times that I am introverted. I like having the comfort in my own introverted shell, and so my thoughts had been only for my own faith until I became a shepherd. And one Sunday, I was really convicted by the sermon. I was preparing the translation for the sermon. It was about Jonah. After he survived the fish, God convicted Jonah to open his heart to reach out to the people of Nineveh, where Jonah didn't want to have anything to do with them at all. God did it by providing Jonah with the necessary experience to understand God's heart for the dying souls of Nineveh. And I want to share today on how God provided me with the necessary experience to convict me and for me to understand his heart for the dying souls. As you know, I teach New Life Bible Study with Suva House Church Shepherd David. In one of the lessons, we talk about three groups of people in society. One is people who we accept as our equals and have relationships with. For example, friends, family, church, school, house church members, and work colleagues. Another one is machine people who serve our needs. For example, cashiers, baristas, restaurant owners, and shopkeepers whom we are polite to because we need them. And last is landscape people. These are people who we don't know and pass by on the streets. We have no interest in them and they are not important to us. In the sermon, we read what God said in the book of Jonah, chapter 4, verse 11. He said, "And should I not have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals?" And the sermon finished by saying, even in Granville, there are countless people who don't know God, so how can we not cherish them as well? And while preparing the translation for this sermon, this part really cut through my heart. I have been attending this church in Granville for the past 20 years. I have driven on these roads and seen people in this area for that much time. But I've never once thought about the people walking by, whether they were saved. These were the landscape people I had been teaching in the New Life Bible Study, that I had no interest in and were of no importance to me. And this sermon reminded me that there are a lot of these landscape people in this neighborhood that don't know God and have not yet been given the opportunity to become a child of God. Thinking that all these people that I once passed in the past will have no hope but will perish hurt my heart, and I wanted to do something for them. My once passive nature I had for other people, God was guiding me to challenge this nature to have an active role for the people who are lost. To prepare for the New Life Bible Study, Shepherd David and I were invited to the House Church Seminar for pastors. Here they were running the instructor course for the New Life Bible Study, and Pastor Song asked me to attend. When we went, it was not only the instructor's course we had to attend, but also the seminar schedule intended for the pastors. It was a hall as big as ours, but full of pastors and only a few shepherds. It was quite daunting. During the pastors' ministry sharing, where pastors presented what they had been doing, one pastor came out. He was a pastor of 300-plus member church, but had to leave due to some issues. Then he established a new church. To start this new church, all he could do was go to the streets. He went to the nearby shopping center and spoke with every Korean he saw. He gave out small gifts to passing people. He prepared meals and gave them out at a busy park. He showed us his phone contact list, and it was full of people he met on the streets. He messaged them regularly and asked them to come to house church and pray for them. You could really see the pastor's heart for the lost and his love in sharing God's grace with his neighborhood. This was another piece of the puzzle that helped me to see the people in our neighborhood with a sincere and desperate heart. I had one VIP our house church had been praying for. He is my work colleague, and we became closer last year. I have been building this relationship by going cycling with him. It is a 2.5-hour ride, and we talked a lot. But this year, he has been saying no to the cycling invitations, and I found out recently that he left Sydney to go to Rome. With the current VIP gone, I was looking for another. At work in our emergency department, there are 40 doctors, and we have a shift roster. So we rarely see the same person in a shift, and it is hard to make relationships. So I really needed a way to meet people, and God provided exactly what I needed, the relational evangelism. I've only gone 3 times so far. Knowing myself, I thought I'll become anxious and shy away from people. So I prayed and prepared before I attended, and I was glad it wasn't bad. The negative experience I had when I was younger was not there. I think it was because God gave me the heart to see them, not as a task to increase the numbers attending our church, but to see them with a desperate heart in that they have no future. Rather than being scared of people, I had the heart to see them as people who had more to be scared of because of their certain path to eternal death. Feeling this way, it made me really want to get to their hearts to show God's love. We met many people during the relational evangelism. There were many rejections, but rather than being upset, it affirmed the fact that there were many lost souls in these streets. I met really kind elderly men who were sitting on a bench because it was a good day out. I met a Christian husband who was finding it hard to reach out to his Buddhist wife. It was a pleasant experience. Even though it was a good experience, I still have reservations about people. At work, patients with different issues spit at us and scratch us with their fingernails. One of the doctors got punched in the face, and there was even a gunshot incident at our hospital. These events have conditioned me to be fearful of people. But I believe that God will help me overcome this fear and understand that not everyone is dangerous. I also believe that God will protect me, save me from harm, and will send appropriate people to make relationships with. As I mentioned before, I am a doctor and I am 40 years old. Surprising or not, I still have exams. And I have been failing a particular exam. And funnily enough, it's a communication exam. Everyone says that I have good knowledge, but that I shouldn't be failing it. I think it may be because of my introverted nature, I do not show empathy well and have an awkward communication style. I think God also gave me this opportunity to learn to show empathy and improve my communication skills while talking with strangers. As I reflect on my journey of evangelism, I can't help but recall the necessary experience God provided for me to change my heart for the lost souls. Through reflecting on the sermon and the New Life Bible study material, attending the house church seminar for pastors, and losing my current VIP was all planned by God for me to change my nature. Through these events, I have come to realize that evangelism is not about converting people, but it's about sharing the love and grace of God in an authentic and compassionate way. Looking back, I'm amazed at how much I've changed. The thought that I would never do street evangelism again has now changed for me to participate in relational evangelism with joy and courage. And through this, I am also participating in Jesus' command to go and make disciples. When I go now to relational evangelism, I pray to keep my fear of people at bay and go with confidence that God will help me. So as I continue on this journey of evangelism, I do with a renewed purpose and passion. I am still introverted at heart and not a very good speaker, but I pray that God can use me to reach out to lost souls to make a difference in their lives. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.